I think we need to stand with Israel. What happened on October 7th was unprovoked atrocity. Innocent women, children, men massacred. And then Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, literally took some of those, 250 of them at least, and are holding them hostage now. It's an atrocity. And the United States needs to and should stand with Israel to ensure that Israel has every right to defend itself against Hamas, which is this terrorist organization.
We have a massive deficit, and the principle is we should pay for it. The IRS is viewed as a pay for. There's debate about it. Fine, pick a different pay for. We can cut funding to the UN, for example. Some of these countries will hate us for free. We don't have to send them money for the fact that they hate us. We've got countries we're giving foreign aid to that never vote with us at the UN, let alone the problems with the UN, that won't even take a position in opposition to what Hamas has done. So I think there's a lot of frustration with the UN at this point. We could look at that as a pay for. We could look at any number of other things, but the idea isn't to link the two, it's to find a way to pay for the spending.
Where you have Israel under attack, under siege, and the Congress is expected to take up an aid package to Israel. I don't believe that it makes America stronger to borrow money from China to give it to any other country. And so I've been working very closely with House Speaker Mike Johnson to ensure that there is a pay for the $14 billion in Israel aid that we expect to approve. And that pay for is going to come right out of the hide of the IRS, which I think is perfect.
I would rather see this package for Israel subject to amendment and debate. It is a little bit disjointed in terms of the logic, and we're having briefings on it tomorrow to kind of break down why it's structured the way that it is. And I think there are people that are still kind of weighing, why is this component in there? Why isn't there some other things in the bill? So, to say that any one part of it's perfect yet, I think is premature.
I support what the administration has done. I think we need to continue to support funding a supplemental in this appropriations package for Israel, as well as Ukraine. As well as the funding that's for the Indo-Pacific and border security. I think they're all needed. This is a time when we need to ensure that not only are we protecting our border from any type of criminal activity, but we are supporting our allies and our friends and around the world. It benefits us. Literally what we are doing, working with our allies, benefits this country in the long term as well.
I think it's irresponsible to say that we're going to diminish the value of the American dollar by printing more money or borrowing more money when there are bloated federal agencies, the IRS being one of them. Here's the scale of how to think about this. Before Joe Biden was president, the IRS had a budget of about $12 billion. Through the Inflation Reduction Act, that swelled to about $80 billion. So a $14 billion peel back would be appropriate, and I think senators will have to make the choice. What's more important to them, the army of IRS agents or the army that is having to fight Hamas? And to me, the army fighting Hamas is probably more worthy of that money.
I think that as a standalone measure, the most fundamental thing is we should protect Israel's sovereignty. Right now, there's all this pressure domestically and internationally to interfere with Israel's ability to exact justice from Hamas. I mean, Hamas massacred Israeli citizens, and of course, Israel has the right to expect an unconditional surrender by Hamas and the full return of their hostages that they continue to hold.
The rich Americans have plenty of lawyers and accountants to pay a substantially lower effective tax rate than many middle-class Americans. If you look at how the Congressional Budget Office anticipated revenue as a consequence of those 87,000 additional IRS agents, it's not the top 1% that's going to be targeted. It's going to be people in the middle class and the working class, small business owners, folks like those in Northwest Florida. So I don't think we need a stronger IRS. I think we need a stronger economy. And that's why I think gutting some of that additional IRS funding that Joe Biden advocated for in order to pay for aid to Israel is a win on both fronts.